Good evening, everyone. It's glad to have you with us. I'm Steve Carver. This is my presentation number 1132. And tonight we're going to be talking about getting the right mindset to get a business started and the different things that you might want to take into mind as you do that. We're sponsored by the Small Business Center at Sampson Community College. Mr. Bart Rice, who was just with us chit-chatting over in Clinton, North Carolina. Bart's a fine fella and does an amazing job. So if you're in that area, make sure you get an appointment with Bart, and then he'll help you with different types of counseling. It's free, and it's just really good information. And you can reach him at 910-900-4025. That's 910-900-4025. Give Bart a call, set up an appointment, and you'll be glad you did. It's on the beautiful campus there in Clinton. This building is easy to find. It's right in the center, the main building in the entire campus. It's called the East Building, so you can find his office there if you'd like to go and make a visit. Just a reminder that I am not a lawyer and I'm not a tax attorney or a CPA. I'm a fellow that's been in business for a long time and happy to share with you the things I've done right. And I'll tell you about a lot of things I've done wrong, hopefully to make things go easier for you as you get started on your entrepreneur journey, or we track along together. But I'll be looking forward and happy to working with you. Main advice I'll have for you is always get a second or third opinion before you make a major decision about your business or financial security. And the small business centers are a good place to do that. If you want help connecting with your local small business center, I'll be glad to do it. I'm Steve Carver again. I've been in business for 65 years, since 1959, when my dad started a tractor dealership, Alice Chalmers Tractor Dealership here in North Carolina. And through the years, it's changed many, many, many times in many, many different ways. And now I've sold the bricks and mortar dealerships away and just operating my website, carverequipment.com, where we do a good job nationwide. And I use the website as a teaching tool, so let me invite you to go there and kind of look around, see the way I do things, and maybe you'll pick up some good ideas that will work for you as well. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to help you through it. I've also done a lot of different types of contracting, from mowing contractors, mowing 3,000 apartments a week in 21 different North Carolina towns. Give me a good insight on that, as well as other types of federal government contracting, including running motor pools for the U.S. Army down at Fort Bragg, or now Fort Freedom. And if you were doing any type of government contracting and need just some general basic information on how to get started, or do's and don'ts in that, or contacts, I can probably help you with that as well. Greetings from my family. We're starting our series tonight. And greetings from my family to your family. We have 12 children and 14 grandchildren. And if you know about in your family how things go, I know exactly what drama is all about. And in small business, we have to deal with a lot of drama. So again, my family is wishing you the very best and hope that during the next 6 or 7 weeks, you'll stay with us. We just kind of go steady through this process, and we can help you get started. I'd like for you very much to find me on Facebook. That's Steve Carver. As you see, that's what a Facebook page looks like. And let's get joined up so I can watch you start posting your business ideas, and you can see how I do it, and I can do a lot of sharing with you as we do that process. Your goals are important, but your goal is important to us too, because your success is our goal. Bart Rice was just with us, and me especially really want to see you succeed, and we'll do all that we can to help you get along that way. So you do have some good members on your team. All you got to do is let us help you and tell you how we can do it. Well, I got 7 straight Thursday nights, and we'll cover pretty much all aspects of getting started in business. The topics don't always reflect everything that's in the program, but we'll have a good program for you, and all the way through, where you'll have so much knowledge and so many more tools for your tool belt at the end of the course I know you'll be glad that you were with us. So we've got a lot to do. You will be able to win certificates. You can get a completion certificate if you attend at least 5 of the 7 classes. That's all you have to do is just show up and stay with us and take it in. And you can get even more certificates and graduate from our what we call the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates, where you can earn even more certificates and a graduation and membership to the Academy by just doing some of the homework assignments as we go through. That's all up to you how far you go. We also offer extra mile awards for those that do special things or go the extra mile with their homework or different assignments. You'll get email-wise from us 13 study guides for tonight's lesson. If you haven't gotten them already, that means one, you didn't register with Bart, or number 2, he didn't get your email address correct, and we know how easy it is to make a mistake on emails. So I'll double check them tonight, and tomorrow I'll send you another set of the same handouts just to make sure you've got them. There's some really good information in these, but always, if you're going to print out one before our class starts so you can follow along, print the one out that starts out with a number, like this one is 1132. That's the talking points of tonight's presentation, and it's easier to make notes on it than anything else. The rest of them are study guides, very important, and we'll mention all of those as we go along tonight. One that is included in here is a video about how to start an LLC in North Carolina, some really good information in that, and lots of basic points on how to improve your credit scores, and also about fall marketing campaign. And David, as you and I were mentioning earlier, one of the things that so many of us in entrepreneurship could do a lot better job of it is tying our marketing programs to the seasons as they change. And of course, as you live over in Marshall area, where the big fall is a big season for you guys, lots of people thinking about doing business and traveling and doing such, that might be something that you might want to consider is tying the seasons in, more so with promoting your business. But the 13 study guides that keep coming to you, each week you'll have a new set of guides. I suggest that you set up a file on your computer and save these different guides all through the series. There'll be a lot of, I'll repeat a lot of these each week. But you can sort through that, and at the end of the course here, you'll have a real good business journal with lots and lots of tips in it. So the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates is basically the membership organization of folks who attend my classes, just like y'all are here. If you make the grade and do the homework and qualify as an Academy member, you'll get lots of information. You get a title, you get a certificate, you can take all of that and a couple of dollars and buy a coffee at your local coffee shop. But mainly is to build up your self-esteem and confidence, because being a member of the Academy is a special thing. We indeed do all we can to help each other, and we have people that are still assisting other associates that have been members of the Academy for 15 years or more, that we still call on and refer business to. It's a good networking outfit. You'll see when you rewatch the program tomorrow with your video, you can stop on these different slides and take them in. We've got a really good fundamental explanation of what the Academy is all about and what our goals are and our pledges and our mission and vision and promise statements. And it's really all about working together for mutual helpfulness. Some folks come just to enjoy the classes. The folks come to go the extra mile and as far as they can. Let me highlight and introduce you to our first in class. Each session will have a first in class winner, the people that have gone the extra mile to get their business started above and beyond the other members. So we like to recognize those. Our last semester, first in class was Mike Stutz over in Carver, who has started an affordable handyman business. He's retiring from one job in a few years and is getting his next career up and running. And Mike just did a really good job with everything from his videos to his website to email, passing on the test. Then over in Rose Hill, Pamela Allen, a midsummer course. Pamela is starting a grow your own and market your own produce and animals and lots of different things. So Pam's really on the ball, and I got her business up and running, named it P&P Farms. And then Sharaki Mitchell over in Rocky Mount is a great craftsman lady, does a lot of good craft work and personalized shirts and hats and things like that. She operates as Crafting Chaos on the internet, and maybe one of the best promoters using videos and different methods of promoting your products at Facebook and otherwise I've ever seen. So if you have a chance to visit her, she's taught us all a lot during the last year. Darcy Garcia has been attending our classes for several years, and this year she opened up her own florist after working for other florists for a long time, and is doing a wonderful job promoting her business. So I'll be sharing her Facebook advertisement from time to time. If you have a chance, check Darcy out. She's doing a great job, and she can ship direct, of course, if you want to do some business with her. Tara, let me tell you about some tiny tips of wisdom that I think will help you and David, and maybe just to help you get a mindset, and that's what tonight's lesson is all about, get a good mindset for starting a new business. We do a lot of planning, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Whatever you do, just know that there's going to be a lot of unexpected events. I've been in business for 65 years now, and I can tell you that every week something new will come along. So just know that's the way it's going to be, and get your mindset for it and learn to look forward, because usually when new things come along, there's an opportunity, number one, to find a remedy. Number two, to find a way to make new money with this new situation. And if you accept it that way instead of with dread as if everything's going to be bad, you'll be off on the wrong foot. So look forward to the unexpected. Don't be so surprised that it scares you. Build a team of people that you can trust and get things done. If your website is not making money or doing what it wants to do, and you have someone that's doing it for you, David, you need to be in a position that you can talk with them freely, understand what's being said, and make things happen that you want to get happening. Just don't be satisfied with no results. There are a lot of people that can help you with that, and as we move forward, put people around you that you can work with and make things happen. I have to deal with that all the time. Basically, I run my own businesses, run two businesses here out of my home, and have to have a lot of virtual support doing different things, so, and that can really make a good difference for you. So just keep that in mind. Surround yourself with people that can help you. Your small business centers have the director, and then they have on-staff counselors to do work with folks. Keep that in mind, because they are there for you. There's no charge for that work, and indeed they can serve as a virtual assistant for you, provided you're willing to set up the appointments and go give advice and hear what they have to say, and follow the instructions. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Indeed, there's a lot of it out here for you. Things will just go wrong sometimes. I mean, just wrong. You'll find that it's not going to be a rose-colored glasses all the time. And I'm telling you right now, the best way that we're going to be prepared for when things go wrong is really good risk management planning, and have risk management structure in place, so that when things go wrong, it don't knock us off of our pedestal or put us out of business. I say this early on, right up front. Things just will go wrong. I accept that, and know that it's coming. I'm looking for things to go wrong, but I'm prepared. So bring it on, and we've got risk management things in place to help keep us going. My job is to motivate, and to do that, I need to be assertive. And is assertive in your DNA. A lot of folks just don't feel comfortable encouraging other people to do things, or you might even say pushing a little bit. But as business entrepreneurs and business owners, we have to be assertive many, many times, because nothing happens in the room till someone is motivated. We need to motivate ourselves. We need to motivate our customers. And by golly, that means we have to get out of that just floating down the river mode and be willing to make things happen, to get up and motivate. So your job is to find the endurance to stay in the game. Speaking with David, you've been in the game for a long time, but the game is changing all the time, right? We have to be ready to make those changes and stay in the game. The key to survivorship, the key to sustainability as a small business owner, is staying in the game long enough to learn the fine points that help you make it through. Sometimes we can't be expected to be 100% all the big revenue numbers, all big increases every year. But the key is to have a good, solid marketing campaign that brings repeat business back to you all the time. So when business economy is really good, you can do really good. But when it's really bad, you still got enough foundation business to stay in business and be ready for the next day. That's the key. That is the key to entrepreneurship. I want you to remember two things. Number one is that I believe, me, Steve, believe I can do and I can be so much more than I'm doing right now. So please don't give up on me, because I want to keep trying. Please don't give up on me, because I'm going to keep trying. Now, please believe with me that you can do and you can be so much more if you want to be. You can do and you can be so much more if you want to. And I will never give up on you. So I'm in your corner. A lot of other people will be in your corner as well. So you got to believe, get a positive attitude, and move forward with it. Each week, each of these 7 weeks, we'll introduce a new word. And these words are all about us thinking and using these words in new ways to help motivate us to a better place than where we've been in the past. And this week's word is shrewd. Shrewd. I bet you hadn't used that word in a sentence in a long time. If you have, congratulations, but I use it more now because we've been doing this word a couple of semesters this year, and I like it, and I want to bring it back, because shrewd is all about being smart and cleverness, and good practical judgment is a major tool for every entrepreneur to be here making it work. So are you shrewd now? We are shrewd in certain ways, but we want to improve our shrewdness as we go along and use that as we go, because it means savvy. It means being clever and knowing and astute and intelligent. So let's try to use that word all that we can. How can you use the word shrewd in a sentence? Now, each week I'll give you a chance to tell you what the words of the week are and ask you to use the different words in a sentence and send it back to me. You don't have to do it at one time, but send it back to me, and we'll count that as part of your homework assignments to help get you started. Be shrewd as we go. I want to remind you now again that fall is already here. It's already September the 12th. And if you're marketing and using slogans and sending out emails or doing banners and promotion, then use these. It's some of your handouts. There's some good help in there. We'll dive deep into this next week when we talk in week 3 when we talk about marketing. So there's some good handouts for you already about fall marketing there. I learned last night on television, as the Secretary of State, Elaine Marshall, was talking, that they have a new website page at the Secretary of State's website for North Carolina. And the program is called RISE, R-I-S-E. But what it is, it's a new program to help new businesses with business registration. This is so if you're doing your business registration yourself and not hiring a bookkeeper or a lawyer or an accountant to do it for you, you can go to this web page, and it walks you through it very carefully, very easily. Don't require a lot of time or a lot of work, but it's official work, and it can save you some money if you do it yourself. So I'll just mention this to you. You might want to make a note of it. It's the Secretary of State's page, and it's called Business Registration. once you're registered as a business, you have to renew that registration every year. And you can do that yourself now instead of having to wait for your accountant or your tax person to do it for you. David, this might be of interest to you as you're working with other businesses getting started to use this business registration page, because you can do it very easily here and maybe charge a fee to your customers for taking care of this service for them. We have what we call the 40 drill skills. And in your handout, there's a whole list of these drill skills. These are little things that you can do and practice and know to help you learn new strategies and ways of thinking and make it a part of your business DNA. And I will assure you that if you master and study and commit to not necessarily memory, but a good familiarity of these drill skills, it will really give you a lot of self-confidence that you're ready to go out here in the business world and make it happen. Each night, each week we'll do 6 or 7 of them and go through them pretty quickly, and then you can rehearse them or read about them on your own as you want to. But number one drill skill we talk about is, why do we want a business plan? Do we need a business plan? And the answer is absolutely we do. Even if you've been in business for 6 months or 60 years, a business plan can be very helpful for you, and they will come in different shapes and sizes and accomplish different things for you. But the business plan is to teach you what's left. That is, we've taken a good serious look at what our expenses are and a good serious look at what our income is and determining what's left. Now, when we're first starting a business, we're kind of estimating and guessing all the way through this, and I know that. But as you move forward, the business plan is going to be very important. Next week, we're going to focus on how to write a business plan, how to do budgeting, how to understand it, and how to make changes in our business plan so that it ends up being black ink at the bottom or positive cash flow instead of red ink where we're losing money. So going through this process will help you with your new business to having a better chance to be profitable as you open up. Right behind it and hand in glove comes the marketing plan. Why do you want a marketing plan? And this is what we focus on in week 3. You want a marketing plan to help you recognize customers, bring them in, offer successful offers to them, how to close that sale, and then what to do after you close the sale or after you meet the customer. The marketing plan is the key to your ability to know you got sustainability, because it'll tell you what's next. What's next? The plan that I'll teach in week 3 is, we're going to call it the Golden Goose Marketing Plan, because we all want those golden eggs, but more importantly, we want that golden goose to hang around with us as long as we want to be in business, and I'll teach you how to know what's next, how to keep your business alive. Marketable profit centers. Marketable profit centers. These are the different things that you do in your business to generate income. Different things you're doing product sales-wise or service sales-wise to generate income. And knowing that you need to present these items to the public through the internet or through advertising or just your salesmanship is so important, that there are 3 different primary types of marketable profit centers that we need in our business. 3 different types. We need marketable profit centers that bring in lots of new customers, improves daily traffic, maybe small ticket items, but things that people are buying every day or that they're interested in finding the best deal on. And if you can develop a plan to offer this to folks, it'll go a long way with you bringing them on in to create new customers. No matter how old our business is, and sometimes it's more important to older business than otherwise, because we're going to lose 1/3 of our customers every year on average. Across the board, all businesses, all types, everywhere, loses about 1/3 of their customers every year, because people just move away, or they die, or they find something else that they want to do with their money. So we are constantly, if we want to be sustainable and grow and move forward, we need to focus on what are we doing to bring in new customers. Number two, we want products and services that keep them coming back, because repeat business and profitable business is really important to staying alive in business. So what are we doing to make sure that customers come back to see us each year? What type of product are we offering, or what type of incentive? And because these items that we did in Profit Center number one, we probably had to cut the margin on them kind of thin, as we were really competing with our competitors and stealing customers, to say the least. These repeat customers, we need to have some good profit margins built into these items so that we can have a sustainable cash flow. And we need to design all this and plan it in our business plan that we'll talk about next week for sure. The third and real important type of profit center in your business will be those that allow you to earn some big and sell some big ticket items, some items that end up several hundred or several $1,000s at a time, so that you can indeed have some very generous, robust deposits from time to time with big numbers. Now, is it more fun to deposit $50,000 or $5? Well, no doubt, $50,000 will put a great big smile on our face and put a little pep in our walk as well. So I want you to be able to do that. But you know, if you don't plan to have big ticket items or big deposits, they're not going to happen. We'll address that. We will show you how to get some big ticket items, and talking about profit centers number three. Why? Why do you must do that? You need some larger deposits to end up with more percentages of profit dollars. So larger deposits automatically lead usually to larger profit dollars, or what's left at the end of the day. And every business has to be able to start building a reserve, have a reserve of ready cash. And that reserve almost always will come from big ticket items. And we have to remember to set money aside, because these unexpected things that I talked about earlier, they're going to cost you money you didn't plan to spend. So just having a simple, bare bones budget never allows to take care of emergency situations. So we need a rainy day fund. And usually, because we plan and have these big ticket items, we can do that. And we're going to talk a lot more about that a little later tonight, so I'll let it go right now. But I do want to say that while there are three types of profit centers, bring in more customers, repeat business, and big ticket sales, you need at least five profit centers in your business to make a good go of it, and have it planned, and know that you're working on these five or more profit centers, and start developing them those, because the more profit centers you have, the more diversified your business will be, and therefore the more customers you'll bring in and be able to make more money year after year, month after month, and do a good job. When you have a lot of profit centers, you can set up a marketing campaign to move forward so much better and with so much more positive results. So each of you, I would say to you, what are you going to do in your business to create more profit centers, more diversification, and more opportunities for customers to come your way? That's the key factors that in your mindset we need to be working towards. RFC stands for Raving Fan Customer. And what is a raving fan customer? A raving fan customer is that customer that leaves your business after talking or meeting with you or doing business with you, and goes out in the community and sings your praises, recommends that other people come and do business with you. In other words, a raving fan customer is a walking, talking marketing machine for you. And we want them. They don't happen by themselves. There's certain little secrets that that I'll teach you to help you create raving fan customers to really make a major difference. And someone that's been in business a long, long time and has a good database of regular customers, as probably David does, and I do, we need to take advantage of our raving fan customer list, because they indeed can help promote our business tremendously if we find the right ways to approach them. So keep that in mind. What is that Raven Van customer going to do for you? NDCP, just 4 simple letters. No demand, change the plan. It's like rock, paper, scissors. No demand, change the plan. And this is going to teach us that as we do our business planning and our marketing planning, if we get into it and we give it a try and there's no demand out there, you're not a failure because you tried. It's okay. But we have to know that we need to change the plan as often as it takes to keep moving forward. A lot of folks get started with their business plan and just sit on it and hope it works one day. That's not a way to approach this. We constantly need to be evaluating what's making money, what's taking more money than we thought it would, what can we do to improve our revenue and cut our expenses. So no demand, let's change that plan. NDCP. Now a few more letters, A, B, C, D, and this is as simple as it gets and it's as fundamental as it gets. Always be connecting the dots. You've heard the term connecting the dots probably all your life, but we're going to put it in a different form tonight. Connecting dots to me and what I'm talking about here is making the right business decisions. We don't have to make decisions every day, and lots of them. As a business owner, it is always a challenge to make more decisions. Some are fun, some you just have to do. But I want to tell you that before you make a decision and put it in place in your business, make sure it fits. Make sure it fits in the circle. I like to say when we're going to connect our dots, let's do it in a circle, because the circle represents a wheel, and that wheel is rolling all the time, moving forward. That's what our business needs to be doing. Keep moving, not stopping, but business needs to be moving forward real smoothly. And if we make decisions that put a bump in the road for whatever reasons, that's going to stop or slow down the businesses moving forward. And sometimes it's just as innocent as it can be, and you didn't anticipate any problems, but it can cause huge issues for you. Example is, let's say in your business you need to buy a delivery van, and indeed you can shop around and do some things and buy different vans at different places for different costs, or even rent them. So, but you saw a van over on the dealer lot the other day that, man, it was pretty. It was just the right red color, and your signage will look so good on it. So you got to thinking about, this is not going to be just a delivery van. It's going to be a mobile sign for me. And that's good thinking now. That's good connecting the dots. But because that van looked good to you, they had a good salesman with it, you decided, well, I think I'll buy that. Well, that was just about $45,000. Right beside it, even on the same lot, was a used van. It was pretty. It had a decent color on it, but you could have bought it for $7,500. You could have still put your sign on it. And it ran good. It probably gave you years and years of good service. But you wanted to get that new one. It felt good, and you said, hey, man, I deserve something new one time in my life. But it's a bad business decision. It was putting a bump in the road because you're going to have a big monthly payment now and debt that you got to pay off. And it's not going to help you make any more money than that $7,500 van did. So connecting the dots that make sense and thinking through them all the time. Don't go out here and jump to the wrong conclusions. That's the best exercise we get sometimes, is jumping to the wrong conclusions. So hold back on your decision making until you get a feeling, is this the right one to make? And this is one of those times when it's good to talk to somebody sometimes. If you're unsure about it, then talk to a mentor, or maybe you got a question. Maybe I'm sure about it, but it's just mainly what I'm sure about is it feels good at the time. Get another opinion. Iron it out. You want to keep your decisions, keeping the business rolling forward. There's 3 words that's going to make a big difference for you. I've already talked about the importance of having a lot of marketable profit centers and being diverse. What all of this is now, The three words are by the way. By the way, so that you can say to your customer, yes, thank you for buying this, and I appreciate it. And by the way, we've got this other product that goes right with it. Or by the way, we got this other thing that goes right with it. So you want to have your profit centers planned with the right connecting the dots decisions that you'll be selling a group of items or a group of services that link up, and you can create bundled deals. And by able to do those bundled deals, you can start creating that number 3 profit center for the big dollars and the bigger deposits. But by the way is the key words to upsells, the key word to cross sales, and the key words to learning how to stack your profits, which are very, very important. By the way, keep that in mind. You'll hear a lot about it during the course. I love to fish. For 25 years, if the wind wasn't blowing the right seasons, I was fishing on the ocean down in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. Just loved it. But you know what? I didn't catch any fish at all for about the first 5 years because I didn't know how. I'd been in the Coast Guard, so I knew how to run a boat and keep it afloat and look after it, but I didn't know about fishing. But one day I took some of the captains with me at the marina. I bought the beer, I bought the boat, I bought the bait, and I let them keep the fish. And all I asked them to do was teach me some secrets, and they did. And after that one day on the water, for 20 more years, I was able to catch fish every time we went out. Sometimes they weren't very big or very pretty, and sometimes we filled the boat up. So knowing the little tricks is the key here. And what they taught me was the main 3 rules for catching fish was 1, keep fresh bait in the water. Number 2, real important as well, keep fresh bait in the water. And number 3, guess what that was? Keep fresh bait in the water. If you keep fresh bait in the water out on the ocean and you keep trolling, you're going to catch you some fish, rough or calm or whatever. You'll catch something. But what's that got to do with tonight? Because after tonight, you'll know that I want to catch customers, and I want to teach you how to catch customers. And it's the same 3 rules that apply. Keep fresh bait in the water. But now we're going to say keep sending out constant promotions. Don't get lazy and quit sending out promotions. Just because you got a Facebook page or just because you got a website, that is not sending out promotions. That's a place where your promotions come back to roost, come back to turn into sales. So keeping fresh promotions going out with emails and boosts and different types of advertising, that's what we have to do on a regular, planned, structured basis, and you'll start seeing good benefits from it. Now, in week 3 and week 4, I will get into that really deep. But just remember, how do you keep catching customers? Fresh promotions need to keep going out. Now, there's a lot of things to think about when you're starting a business. And if your business is already started, you've already got a lot of things behind you. Matter of fact, a lot of things that you may have already done will qualify you for some of your homework assignments. You just need to share them with me so I'll know it. But everything from getting your logos up and running, your trademarks, license permits, insurance, sales tax issues, employee identification number, LLC, getting your website up, there's a lot to consider. And through this course, we'll consider them all. And if you have any questions about any of them or want me to focus more on this point or this question, then just let me know. And in the next session or so, I will do it online, or I'll send you personal information direct to your question. So let's be shrewd. Let's bring that word back out. Let's be smart. Let's show cleverness and judgment as we move forward with your business and making it work. Now, the rest of the presentation tonight is pretty much comes out of a book that I wrote several years ago called 24 Things You Must Know About Getting Your Business Started. It's available at Amazon, but you don't need to go buy it because tonight's manuscript and study guide is right out of that book. Now, if indeed you want to buy the book and make it a gift for someone or have me to sign it for you, such as that, please do, but it's certainly not necessary. So in chapter 1, anytime that you're planning on going to a professional business coach or consultant to help you get started, they're going to have about 35 or 40 scripted questions already written down on a list that they're going to ask you. And I need to ask you some tonight, not necessarily that you're going to tell me the answer, but so you'll think about what the answer is and apply it to your mindset to either grow your business now or to get it started. First thing I'm going to ask you is, are you going to be personally involved in the business? And will it be a full-time or a part-time business? That's a basic, fundamental decision that will have everything to do with how we plan to get this business up and running or change it. What changes need to be made if you're already established, or what do I need to do in my personal life to find the time and the resources to become this new business person that I'm going to be? Where is the business going to be? Is it going to be home-based? You're going to be working out of your car? Is it an internet-type business? Or do you have a storefront where people actually come and go to your office? You know, there's lots of businesses after COVID that used to be in storefronts and rented buildings, but now the owners of the business and their employees are all working from home or from home offices that they have at their residence, and not maintaining those buildings anymore, and they're doing just fine. So COVID really brought on a lot of grief and terror and heartaches and mourning for millions of Americans. But it's almost past now. We're learning now that we've got some things we can get to keep it from being so terrible. But COVID also did a lot of good things for entrepreneurs. It taught us how to operate out of our house and new ways to be on the internet, and it's made a very positive difference. The key is, are you tying into how this new way of thinking and doing business may assist you, help you bring in more revenue and actually spend less money? So as we do our business planning next week, you need to be plugging in and know how your business will probably work best so that we can estimate your income and estimate your expenses so we'll know what's left at the end of the day. My business is all the above now, except I don't have a bricks and mortar storefront, but I do all the rest of it. I work from home. I have a home office. I also travel somewhat, and I use the internet extensively. So all those have pluses and minuses to them and some expenses you have to think about. Now, if you already have an established business, but you want to see a remarkable change by a certain date, what date is that? Or if you're thinking about and moving towards starting your own business, what is that date you want to say, I'm in business and I'm ready to see customers and make money? It's important that you have a date to write down. Because when we have that date to write down, we can work towards it. We'll work towards it. Next week, as we're doing our business planner, we'll look at a 6-month plan of what needs to be done at different months to help you get to where you want to be on that important date. But you need to set that date, and we'll have it to work with the business plan. A menu of products, a menu of different things that you can do. And here's a key ingredient for someone that's in the services business. Now, you may say that in my business, I'm going to be offering graphic design work. Well, that's a big territory. That's a world of different types of services. I'm going to encourage you to say, I offer this type of design for building exteriors, or this type of landscape design, or this type of interior decorating design, or patterns for quilts. Be specific. List these down, because people that are searching for business, for design business, they already have in their mind what type of designs they're going to need help with. And if you can be specific for what you want to be your strong points, those people can come to you directly, and you can use those as target audiences. It's the same way if you're doing accounting or bookkeeping work. There's so many different types of bookkeeping work that you can do. And David, I've noticed at your website, there's a pretty good list of a menu, different types of services that your company provides. And that's where I'm going to recommend that we really start focusing on helping you build your business and bring in more customers, because we specifically go after target groups and not the whole world. Got to remember now, our business cannot be all things to all people, but it must be everything to some people. And as we plug that into our marketing campaign and the way we approach finding customers, you'll see that it really works. So go ahead now, if you haven't already done it, and create a menu of the different products and services that you're going to have. That will be your different marketable profit centers in your business plan, and all this is going to tie together as we connect the dots. Very important. Or you don't need to be borrowing some money to get your business started. You need to go borrow money to get the business started. If so, is your financial statement now, is your business payment history, your credit history, paying your bills history, credit score, do you think a lender will like what they see? And if you think it needs to be improved a little bit, then let's start on it. And I've got a handout there for you that you can start reading and doing a few little things that'll start every month improving your situation somewhat. If this is a deep, really important subject for you that you know you've got to do some corrections on, then send me an email and we'll talk about it a little bit, and maybe I can offer more advice for you along that way. Now, this is one that I want you definitely to say, I'm going to do this now. This is your first major homework assignment, and it is really a cool thing. If you have a mission and a vision and a promise statement, if you have that, here's what it means to you. You've thought about seriously where you want your business to go, what it's going to do, and what you want to achieve, and most importantly, how are you going to run it? Are you going to be a giver or a taker? Are you going to take the high road or the low road? Now, it's real easy for us to chit-chat and talk about it and say, hey, I'm going to do it just right. I don't always go the high road. I don't do this for my employees. I don't look after my customers, give them good products. We can chit-chat about it all night long. But when you write it down, in your mission, vision, and promise statement, you know what happens? You make a statement to the world, to your potential customer, that this is what your business is about. And when people are shopping and looking and they see this, when they see this, they automatically know that you have gone the extra mile to be a good and fair and honest entrepreneur. And that gives you a great big check mark in almost everybody's block. Your competition that doesn't do this, and most do not, will fall behind you because you do this simple piece of work. And that's what you show to the customers. But more importantly, when you have your mission, vision, and promise statements on your website and in your quotations and on your business card and in your brochure, in other words, it's a part of you that you promote. Every day you'll see what you're promoting, and it will strengthen your resolve. It will strengthen your resolve to be a better person and a better business plan, and to live up to what you promised you were going to do. And that's a good feeling. You don't get a chance to get many good feelings every day about things in small business, but this is a mover. It'll make a difference for you, and indeed it'll put a smile on your face. And when the customer comes back to you and says, you know, Steve, I've been seeing this mission, vision, promise statement you've got on your quotations and at your website. It's pretty impressive. I appreciate the fact you've gone to that effort. Yeah, you can do that as well. The good news is, in your handouts tonight, in your study guides, there's one that's devoted to helping you go ahead and do your mission, vision, and promise statement. I've got examples there and samples from other people and words you can use. And the good thing about this is, if you see a sentence here or a paragraph there that you like and you want to use it. If you believe it and you're going to live up to it. Keep these things kind of short, but go ahead and get your mission, vision, and promise statement in writing and send me a copy of it. It's really important to you. And it will be as part of your homework assignments that help you earn credits towards your certificates. So please give this consideration. Core values are the simple basics of how you think about morals and what your moral compass is and what you're wanting to achieve in business. And they're very important too, and they're a part of the handout for you. So I've given you several examples. You can read these at your pleasure tomorrow when you watch the video. Stop, do screen stops and take time, make notes and such as that. But this is a very good opportunity for you to jump right into personalized entrepreneurship. There's a lot of work here for you, and you're welcome to use any of it that you want to. Notice the last sentence here in the pledge. What is the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates about? I'm inviting you to become a part of the Academy tonight and stay with us as long as you want to. But what is this about? To concentrate and strengthen our association by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. That's what the Academy is all about. So you've got an invitation to become a part of the group. Now next, I've already mentioned it, but I wanted to highlight it with a slide. If you don't have someone that you can talk to and ask advice about, or maybe consider your mentor or your counselor or your coach, find someone that you trust, someone you think's got some sense and will offer you good advice without being self-motivated for whatever reason. So do that. And I volunteer to be your coach, not only through this course, but whenever I can help you in the future. And your small business center director and staff will do the same thing, or maybe you have some other people. Maybe you are very experienced and you can be a coach for other people. Then that would be something that you might want to consider doing as well. What is the basic foundation blocks now for our mindset to get started? Know that diversification is really important. Diversification of your products and services so that we can pick out target customer groups and go after them and be everything to some people. Next is the positive attitude, a big smile, determination, and lots of energy so that your customers come to you to find positive attitude, determination, and energy. Let me say that again. Are you the business person that your customers will come to you to find positive attitude, determination, and a lot of energy? We have to show that. We have to let them know that it is here for them to come and take and use us as a sponge to take it away and put it to work in their business. When you do that, customers look forward to doing this. I'll mention this word often, relationship building. We are trying to build relationships with customers. Just getting their first piece of business, their first dollar, is pretty easy. You can do that at the state fair if you want to. But having customers work with you year after year, and many times during the year, that's built on trust and it's built on a relationship. So this circle that we're talking about, connecting these dots, a whole lot of these dots will have to be relationship building related. Excuse me. There's goals, there's dreams, and there's wishes. Wishes are kind of smoke and mirrors. Dreams are real, and they can be achieved if someone really tries. The goals, indeed, are more real, provided you make a goal. Now, I can tell you the best way never to achieve or reach your goal, and that is never write it down or never become committed to it. So as an entrepreneur coach, and I've helped 500, 600, 700, maybe even 1,000 people get business started through the years. I have to say right up front, now, if you're not committed, don't waste my time. If you're not committed, don't waste your time. If you don't hang in here with it and make it work and set it as a goal, then let's go for it. And then I'll say to them right now, even with that commitment, the chances of you making that goal come true are slim. But the chances of you making a goal related to that come true are excellent. Because once you become committed to a goal and start working towards it, you'll find out that things need to shift a little bit this way or that way because you didn't plan on this or that. Just like our business plans, we know that it's going to have to be adjusted. But the key is, if you've got a plan, you're making a goal. And if you've got a goal, you've got something to work towards, and the chances will become excellent that you can get real close to it or maybe even exceed it. So I want you to set some goals now for your business. The goals are how much money at a certain date in the future, 6 months from now or a year from now, how much money do you hope and will work towards that business generating for you? And that may not be a big figure during your first couple of years, but there needs to be a figure there. And I want you to have a goal for the business income. What do you want those business revenues to be at a certain time? Because let me tell you, when we do the business plan next week, you can write down whatever number you want to at the bottom of the business plan and call it what's left. And then we'll put in revenue generators above that that have a chance to generate that amount of money after we take out the expenses. So don't be afraid to set a goal, because I can tell you now we will have to be adjusting it as we go. That's part of the plan here. We need a business planner for the next 6 months. I have that all ready for you. We need a simple business plan that you can type out very easily and get started with it. I'll have that ready for you next week. And we'll have some mileposts that we want to set down for your business. Now, if you're starting a new business, that applies. If you've already got a business and you're moving it forward and you want to make changes, then those changes will become the things in the business plan that we're concentrating on. So this can be very flexible for you. Cornerstone number one is start small, take baby steps. Don't try to take giant leaps to move forward in a small business. That's dangerous. Have a plan and stay with it and mark your progress as you go. There's no reason to take large, dangerous steps. How about becoming legal? If you're already legal, that's fine. If you're already an LLC or subchapter S corporation, that's just fine. If you're not to that point yet, I've got several ways to help you. One of your handouts is a video that gives you a lot of information on just the LLC side. Nothing difficult in there to do. Lots of people do it themselves, or just work with a friend or a bookkeeper or a lawyer can do it to you if you want to pay somebody to do it for you. But you can do it yourself. And you can go to that web page that I mentioned earlier at the Secretary of State's website, and there's a lot of good information there to help you as well. And the small business centers are ready to help you with your LLC work. Most people will go that way, and you do want to be legal. You can operate for a certain length of time or a certain way as an individual proprietorship and not be incorporated. You can file your taxes as an individual proprietor, what they call sole proprietor. But a key here now is you don't have to cross that bridge until you actually got your business running or ready to. But before you get to that point, I want you to keep up with all your business expenses. Right now, as you're getting started, keep up with everything related to the business that you're spending money on. Write it down, document it, how much money it was, because that's going to look good in your business plan and your financial statement that you've got skin in the game, that you are investing your money and your time to get the business running. Any lender will be impressed with the fact that you've already put money in the business, okay? But you're going to need to document it. The good news is that once your business gets up and running and making some profits, it can pay you back that money because you're loaning the business that money. That upfront startup money is a loan from you to the business, and it needs to be documented. And the business can pay you interest and pay it back. The interest the business pays you on that loan will be taxable to you as personal income. But paying the loan back, that's non-tax money that comes back. And you know what? It's a business expense for the company, and therefore they get to deduct those types of issues. So it's a tax deductions for the company, and it plays in very nicely for new companies when you first start making some money. There's going to be risk involved, as I mentioned earlier, and these risks will frighten you from time to time. Sometimes this keeps people from getting into business because they're just afraid. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm facing, and I don't want to take the risk. Everyone that's ever been in business has asked these questions before. And last night, the Secretary of State said that, I think she said 150,000 new LLCs were chartered in North Carolina last year alone. And they're getting in something like 700 applications a day. I mean, the numbers were huge, and I'm not sure they were exact, but they were just huge numbers. This blew my mind. So everybody is facing these issues, but if you're going to be in business, you're going to have to face risk. The good news is there are risk management tools you can put into place to keep those risks from blowing your way, and you're going to need to do that. And we'll talk about primarily in week 5 in funding and resourcing your business, learning about borrowing and the different documents there. So just know that risks are out here, but there's risk management tools we can put into place. Your largest challenge possibly is going to be not facing the fact that you just cannot do it all by yourself. I've tried, and you cannot do it all by yourself. I've had over 2,000 employees through the years, many years in business, and usually averaged about 25 all along. But the fact is, if you don't build a business that's going to grow, give you a substantial income, help you achieve some financial goals, pay for some educations, and have a home and some recreational time and toys. If you want a business that can create the revenues that you can afford all that stuff and create a savings account as well, then you're going to need some help. Because there's not so much that you can do in a 24-hour period, especially when you need to charge your battery about eight of those hours. Now, dividing time up and delegating will become a major business skill that you will need. This doesn't mean that you're going to have to hire a lot of people. Depending on the type of business you've got, you may not have to hire a single full-time employee. Or depending on the type of business you have, you might need to hire dozens. At either rate, whether they're hired employees or contractors or virtual assistants, we don't need to pay them, and we don't need to determine how to delegate certain jobs to them that will make your company money. Because you need to be focusing on the part of the business, that helps the company generate income. The administrative jobs that you can have other people to do, pay them a reasonable price to do it, so that you can focus on making money, is the smart business. We have to remember, however, that those administrative jobs that we're paying other people to do become a part of your cost of doing business, become a part of your overhead, and we will need to estimate how much of that we're going to have going on for our business planning next week. So give that some thought. How much help you're going to need. I know that you haven't been there. You don't know how much it's going to cost you yet. But if you'll write it down in your proposed business plan or startup expenses, and you give me information about what you're going to be doing, I can give you a good estimate to start with. I've been involved in enough businesses, I can give you a darn good estimate to start with. And then you can play it out as things move on, and we'll be constantly changing that business plan and move those estimates into real numbers as you've been in business a few years. But setting priorities and delegating will be really, really important with you. The zoning, advertising, fire codes, taxes, parking, hours of operation, signs. All these things are generally something you have to deal with within your local ordinances, within your local community's rules. And you can go to the internet, and every incorporated business, I think, in North Carolina, not business, but every incorporated town or township or city now has a website. And at those websites, almost all of them have their local ordinances, where just you can go and spend a little bit of time just shopping through their websites and learn a lot about things that I've just talked about. The good news is they'll also have information numbers that you can be in touch with. So getting right with your local laws is not the problem it used to be, thankful to the internet. So let me tell you that in North Carolina, I feel easy saying that most all small towns are really interested in helping entrepreneurs get new businesses started, because you're going to be good for a small town. Most of the large cities are as well, but large cities have more to deal with, so it might be harder to find that person you're looking for. But go to the website. Send a note to the town manager or the town clerk and tell them you're starting a new business or thinking about it and would like to come by and talk to whoever you need to talk to get right with local government. All you have to do, don't be afraid to do that. It's a good thing. You'll want to sign it. You'll be asked to do a registration, a business registration, or get a operating license, so to speak. It's not really much money, but you want to do it because it makes you legal with the town and shows folks that you're interested in being a part of this thing. What is that EIN number I keep hearing about? Employer identification number. What is that? That's the most frequently asked questions that I have. Well, when you were born, you were given a Social Security number. That was kind of you forever, right? That number. And it'll stay with you all your life. When you birth a business, when you start a business, you're creating a new entity. And that entity is identified from here on out by what they call an employer identification number. So before you can go to the bank and get a business checking account, which I want you to do when you get your business running, before you can go to the insurance agency and get insurance in your business name, you're going to need to have an EIN number. The Department of Revenue, the IRS, the federal IRS, Internal Revenue Service, is the agency that gives out EIN numbers. And they do that at their website. You can do it yourself or you can pay someone else to do it. I suggest you do it yourself because it's easy. There's no real hard questions. So you would go to the IRS website, look at their menu about employee identification number, click on that, answer the questions, and in just a few hours, you will be sent a new number and it's registered. So here's a word to the wise. When you go to that IRS site and you click on I want an identification number, you'll get a pop-up come up. We can help, we will assist you get the number. In other words, there's an outfit that will give a pop-up that volunteers to do this work for you for about a $300 fee. And if you click on that, then you'll get to answer those simple questions such as that. And when you're answering the questions, you'll click the thing and you'll get a bill before you get started, you pay the $300 with your credit card. And then after it's over with, you do the click and they will send you an identification number. Well, that pop-up is a scam. They're not supposed to be there, but they're always there according to the IRS because I asked them about it. And they say it's just people just keep doing it and they're robbing you. They're charging $300 for something that only takes about 2 minutes to do. And a lot of people don't know they've been scammed, but they do. So when I got my first EIN number after myself, first time I did it myself, and then I went back to the bank to get a business checking account for a fundraiser I was doing for a friend, the banker told me that this was good. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me they want to charge me $300? I might have done it some other way. She said, Steve, you don't have a fee for doing your EIN number. I said, well, I did. I had $300. I told her about it, and she told me I was scammed. Well, I went back to American Express. I told them about it, and they got my money back, and I kept my EIN number. So just avoid that if you can. You don't have to pay extra money for your EIN number. Employee identification number, 5606-86221. That's one of those numbers you will eventually memorize because you'll use it so much. As you get started with your mindset, just know right now that you're going to be dealing with the North Carolina Department of Revenue. That's the NCDOR, as we'll come to call it. And they're a good bunch of folks. They're based out of Raleigh. They're the tax people for North Carolina. They have offices and regional offices all the way around the state where you can make an appointment and go visit with someone. They are in close touch with all the small business centers if you have questions, and your small business center directors will have a NCDOR person that's familiar with small businesses that they can directly refer you to. But the great news is, I'm here to tell you, these are generally really nice folks who are glad to help and assist entrepreneurs like me and you. That we can talk to them on a first name basis, and they know a lot, because in North Carolina, they're really working hard to promote entrepreneurship. And you're in the right place and the right time as far as that goes. And so there's nothing there to be afraid of. But once you get your business up and running and you are paying taxes and you're dealing with different tax folks, it shifts a little bit. They're still really nice people. But now we got tax and money involved and obligations and exposures. So as you start collecting tax money, I want you to have a relationship with your bookkeeper and or your accountant, that when you have questions related to your particular business and how much money needs to be sent here or there, that you let your accountant or your bookkeeper make those calls to NCDOR. That way they know who to call and what the terminology is and what the dates are all about, how much flexibility that you may or may not have. So getting started, getting everything in line and lined up, you can do that yourself. But once you get up and running, I suggest that your communications with NCDOR or the IRS you handle through your bookkeeper or your accountant. That's just an old fellow that's been in business. Some of that advice I told you I'd give you. David, are you still close by? Let's see if David can hear us. May not have his mic on. That's all right. Now, compliance with local laws are still important. Business permits, license, privilege license, and registrations, all those issues are very important. You can go to your local government offices and town clerk, city clerks, and county offices, and pretty much get all the information you need. Is this something to be afraid of? It is not. You're going to need a basic form, just like the one I'm showing you here. This is the form that we've had for over 65 years each year. Got a whole stack of them on the wall over here. Basically, every year you pay a little fee. In some small towns, it's zero fee for small businesses. And no towns, I don't think it's very high, less than $100 probably. Maybe in some big cities, and if you're a big business, it might be more than that, but generally these are very affordable. What it's all about is to help the fire code people know where you are, what you're selling. If they have to send the fire truck to your building, do they need to bring special stuff with them to put out a fire? Where are your bathrooms? Where are this and that? How about your zoning? Are you doing your zoning properly? So keeping a current business registration is a must. You want to do that. And it also helps protect your community against flim-flam people that come in and try to open up businesses and not play by the rules, like Academy members like yourself will be doing. So don't be afraid, get your business registration. Another great source of resources at the Small Business Center Network, where you went to register to come here tonight. They got a tab there, if you notice my cursor on the screen, on resources here. This page here that says resources goes on and on and on with lots and lots of good information for new entrepreneurs. Maybe you don't need but a tenth of it, or maybe you don't need any of it, or maybe you can use a lot of it. But there's good information here to have and to study through and to know that's available. So let me encourage you to give that a try if you don't mind. All right, let's get back to where you're going to operate that business, because next week we're going to be doing the business plan. And if you're renting a building somewhere, your business plans don't have to include expenses for rent, utilities, repairs, upgrades, this, that, and other things. If you're going to be operating on the internet, you're going to have expenses for computers and servers and webmasters, web work, different types of expenses related to that. Whatever type of business you're doing is going to have a different set of startup costs. So go ahead and list that down and put down the different costs that you're aware of. And I can tell you right now that whatever you were planning on, you can probably double or triple it before you get a new business up and running. Because things just keep coming out of the woodwork. You fix one thing and something else pops up. So that's part of what we want to do. Mindset. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to sell this. I want to make that. I want to deliver this. I want to do these services. I want to be a wholesaler or a retailer. We got to ask the basic question. Are you a salesperson? Do you know how to sell a product? Do you know the ins and outs of negotiating, dickering, bartering, chit-chatting with someone to find common ground? How's your salesmanship skills? How's your relationship skills? Are you a people person? Well, all that comes together with this relationship building for a long-term business. And if you're great at it, fantastic. We got other things we can work on. But if you don't have these skills or don't feel like you're equipped or have the, and sometimes it's not skill, it's self-confidence to present yourself and your product, then we can help you with that. I got good tips for you. Just be honest with me, send me a note, let me know where you are, what you're concerned about, and I will automatically be able to start help raising the bar for you. It'll be as slow a process as you want to make it or as fast as you want to make it. But we have a lot to offer to help you with those things. And if you just say, I am not that person, Steve, then I don't automatically say to you, well, we need to find that person then. We really do. We need to find that person. If you're saying, I don't need to hire someone, I'm going to do my business on the internet, then I understand. So that's going to be easier for you to start making these presentations. And we got a lot of different ways to help you there. But can you sell it? Number one question. Will they buy it? Is this a product that people will buy? Is it quality? Is it in demand? Do you have a reasonable price on it? Who are the people that's going to be buying your product? Specifically, where are they located? What age group are they in? Do they have a special interest that we need to be worried about? Because we need to target the people that are most likely to buy your product. Otherwise, we will be wasting a lot of money trying to talk people into buying something that will never have any interest in what it is. So how are we going to reach out and find them? Well, that's what week 4 is all about, how to find customers. And the answer is going to be we help them find us. So you've got to think about these things, get your mindset ready, and get up for the challenge, because indeed there's a challenge ahead of you to do this. Review now. Marketable profit centers are what you're doing to make money. They need to be listed down specifically so that we can start putting them into your business plan and into your marketing plan. We want it to be diversified so we can have as much diversity as we can have to bring in lots of customers all through the year, all the seasons. Give that some thought. I'll share with you right now, there's 2 basic things that people buy. People buy things that they need, like milk, sugar, bacon, bread, baby food, car tires, parts for the tractor. Yeah, they buy things they need. They buy things from David because they have to file taxes, so they'll hire someone to help them with it because they need to. And now, I want us all to have a number of our marketable profit centers that represent things that people need. But the other half of what people buy are things that they want. Don't really need it, but it feels good at the time. I don't buy it now. I went to the grocery store to buy the bacon, milk, and bread, but I had to walk all the way through the store, and every aisle I walked down was full of stuff that I really wanted but didn't need. And in my car, they got that big old cart for me. I had plenty of room just to pull this and that to get these things that I wanted. Yeah. I want my business and your business to have plenty of things that people want. So that as they're there shopping for things they need, they'll see things they want and buy that too. And as they're there shopping for things that they want, they'll see the things that they need and they'll buy that too. That's being savvy. And especially if you've got these lined up in such a way, remember these dots in the circle, especially if you've got your products diversified and lined up so that you're always able to say, and by the way, we've also got this. That's the way you double, triple, quadruple your sales and your profit. And it's all about planning. It's all about merchandising and planning. So maybe you're saying, but Steve, I just do one thing in my business. I don't say that. That is not the truth forever, because one thing will go south someday. So we don't figure out how to break these things up into different diversified services and products to different people, such as that, in such a way to keep these new folks coming in and to keep repeat business coming in, and to be able to bundle some things so we can have some big ticket deposits. Marketable profit centers. There's an individual study guide for you. We talked about the different types to bringing in the new customers, promoting daily traffic. Who does that best? Convenience stores. Man, they sell gasoline and lottery tickets. Neither one of them do they make a lot of money on, but they do it because it brings in that daily traffic. Change the price of a gallon of gas 1 penny and see your traffic flow come up every day. Lottery tickets, you see the jackpots get high, more people flood in. They want them to keep coming in, and they put up with all that stuff they have to deal with to help them. Fast food businesses, all of them have a $5 meal. A $5 meal, come on in, we'll get you a meal, something to drink. You end up with a little bit of gas for $5. Bring them in, flood them in every day. But the profit centers number 2 are about making more money, repeat business, and doing some fancy merchandising and getting some more profit margins on there. Who does that? Fast foods are the best at it. You go in to buy a $5 meal and you end up spending $11 or $12, don't you? They got all these upsizes and desserts and things that you can add, and most people do that. That's their profit centers number 2. We do that in our businesses too, if you're savvy. Yeah, if you're savvy, you'll do that. Because once we get them in, then we get to walk them past the items of things that they want. They want, and all of us will pick up items, those fundamental impulse items, we call them. And when you do that at a store, you're picking up items that are a lot more profitable than the things that people needed, because they're in the profit center number 1. These are number 2. What are you doing in your business that gives people the option to make impulse purchases? At the car dealerships, they make very little money on a new car or a new pickup. Oh, they're really expensive, but their overheads are really expensive too. But where they make their best profitable dollars, the easiest money, the cleanest money, is at the parts and service departments. In other words, if they could just have a parts and service department and have a lot of people come, they do it. But no, I got to have $2 million worth or $10 million worth of cars out there now to keep my parts department and service department going. It's amazing. And every business is kind of that way. Big ticket sales. Maybe you're not selling a large, expensive item like a piece of farm equipment or a used car or some expensive machinery of one type or another. But maybe you're selling some items that you can bundle together in a package. And that package ends up being a pretty good chunk of money. So we'll work on that real hard during the course to help you figure out how to do that. Even at Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue, one of my favorite fast food places to go, they've got a $5 meal you can come in and have, but also while you're there, you can select a $369 catering bill. And it's really cool, and this is a really good product. I think someone at Smithfield came to one of my seminars one time and started doing this. At any rate, how can we do it for your business? Let's work towards that. You can have your $5 bring the customers in, but also you can have your larger ticket items to help satisfy their needs. Needs versus wants, it all plays together in this. How are you going to find employees a job? And we hear people every day saying, nobody wants to work anymore. Well, I'll tell you that there are a lot of people who have no interest in working at all, but there's a world full of people out here who do want to work and do want to earn a good pay and do want to produce so they have a chance for improvement in the future. And our job as entrepreneurs is to be able to find those particular people, to hire the right people and delegate the right jobs to them. So I'll mention this to you. Two things. How can you expect an employee to really care about your business and your dreams and your desires and just work to help you achieve your goals if you don't care a hoot about their dreams, their goals, their willingness to, or their desires to achieve goals for their family? You can't. It's a two-way street. You show those employees you're really trying to help them achieve their goals, they will appreciate you, they will work harder, and they will stay with you. They will want you to make a profit. They will not want to take every penny away from you. That's the truth. Number two, most people do not quit their job. Most people quit their boss. So this could be a factor with how you're running your business, how your managers are running your business, the perception that you will give to someone when you're approaching, do you want them to work for you? This can go in a lot of different directions, but the bottom line is it's being treated like you want to be treated. And when you do that, your chances of finding employees that will stay with you and work with you, and you will want to help them, really improve. I've had the pleasure of having lots of employees, and when I sold my dealerships, when I stopped having employees, at that particular day at 17 employees, the average time of employment of those 17 individuals was 35 years. Some 50 years. And that's something. I know that. Most of those people came to work for me and left and came back because we try to keep our family, our employees as a family, look after each other and be aware of and help achieve the individual goals of the whole team. As we were doing that, they all were all interested in me achieving my goals as well. I just share that with you, something to look forward to. As I mentioned earlier, your startup costs are going to be real. The good news is your startup costs happen 1 year when you first get started, but they still have to be built into your business plan. So they've got to be covered. And if you're borrowing money to pay these startup costs, not only you don't have to make monthly payments and pay interest on them as well. So give serious thought to your startup costs because it'll have a lot to do with where we go from here. And every business is going to be a little bit different. So list these down now. Your basic startup expenses, what you think they will be. Every business will be different, but take the time to do it. And if you're looking at starting, you're already in business, you've already started, but you're thinking about starting some new profit centers, then handle those profit centers just like they were a new business entity. Write down, list down the startup costs for that particular profit center. Because when we do the business plan and we plug that building block in with that particular marketable profit center, the startup costs need to be built into that so we can figure out what's going to be left at the end of the first year. Or you don't need to borrow money at the bank. Some of us do every day. I was talking to a gentleman as early as 8 o'clock this morning. He's thinking about buying an established business and getting it started. And he's been talking with his bankers, and they're asking him hard questions and stringing him out, which is to be expected. But I think he'll probably get his loan because, one, he's got roots in his community and he's well known. Number two, he's paid his bills and he's paid his taxes, and he's got the proof of doing that. Got a good credit score, hadn't been into bankruptcy or anything like, hadn't paid his bills on time. He's got the proof that he knows about what he's getting started into. But he's having to document it. It's a new business for him, and he's having to show that he's doing what it takes to learn the business. He'd like to show some extreme self-confidence and enthusiasm and energy about going into this new debt, starting this new business, and that he's having to work on. He's going to need some personal and business references. Well, him and his family been in business for a long time in the area. That shouldn't be a problem. And create a business plan, present a business plan. Basic, simple things to do. But if you hadn't ever done it before, if you hadn't ever been in business before, have this history, we have to work at it a little bit and wiggle it out in all the different ways you can. Now, next week when we talk about the business planner, I will provide to you a sample 2 or 3 pages that you can fill out and get a good start on all these issues for yourself. But going to a bank to borrow a long-term loan as a new business owner, when new businesses have a tendency to fail in the short term, you got to do something really special to enhance and talk a loan officer into approving your application for a long-term loan for a business that may go out of business in the short term. Just know that's a fact, and that's life. But having a down payment to make, having some collateral, maybe having a cosigner, a really good business plan that makes sense, not a bunch of smoke and mirrors in it, all those factors will go a long, long way to helping you get along. And in week 5, we'll talk about those in depth. If you have any questions about them, send me an email, let me know. Mindset again. Who is the big kahuna? The big kahuna is that person in business that's been in business a long time. And they kind of own the market. They know what's going on. And I want you to be the big kahuna one day. I want you to be the best in your business, in your area, in your trade area. Yeah, you can do that whether you're just getting started or been around a while. I've got the pleasure and honor to say I've been the big kahuna in 5 or 6 different situations all through these 60 years. And can tell you that it feels pretty good to be the #1 sales in a certain thing for all of America, or having the greatest profit center market share in a particular region for the entire company, to have more customers buying a certain product than anywhere else in North Carolina. It's a good feeling. It takes a lot of work, but it also, there's a reality here. It won't last. It won't last. There's always going to be somebody that really wants to be the big kahuna that you are, and they will not quit until they move you on. So it's okay, because everything changes. And by the time you have ridden this wave, on this new product or this new group of customers. If someone else is in a position to learn what you've learned and maybe take over your position, you are smart enough and shrewd enough that you've already figured out what the next new thing is. And when you're moving off that one big kahuna pedestal, you're already climbing up on another one. That's what good entrepreneurs do. They figure out a way to get to the finish line, to stay in it long enough to learn the fine points. And that's what I want to encourage you to do and help teach you to do, is find out where that next wave is and get on top of it like a surfer. If you're on the front of the wave, you can go a long way. If you're sitting back just being still, rocking and rolling with the waves as they come in gently, you're not going very far. You might hold your own, and if that's your goal, you can do that. But if you want to be the big kahuna, if you're young and you want to really push your company forward, or you want to push your company forward or get it rolling so that maybe you can sell it to someone else, these are important lessons to learn. Find out who the big kahuna is, study them, see what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong, see what they're doing for their customers, see how you can do it better, find out how they're dodging the bullets. And they do it decade after decade, and what do we need to do? We just need to do it better and longer and outlast them. So if that's your goal, then I can show you how to do it. Again, repeating, surround yourself with smart people who are good advisors and mentors and have your best interest at heart, not theirs. I'll speak a little bit later about there are a lot of people out here that pretend to know a lot and have never done anything really except talked. So let's talk about finding the folks who know the real game and what's going on. Your competition, well, they're important, but they're not the determining factor on how far you go. You are the determining factor on how far you go, and I believe that, and I'm not going to give up on you. But the competition plays a role in all of us as business, because we know that we're going to have to outwork them, outbrand them, outthink them, use guerrilla marketing techniques with them. We need to have value-added products and factors that they do not have, and we need to have a willingness and a determination to outlast them. Outlast them. And in this world today, people go and come, and businesses go and come very quickly. And if you have a business that you've anchored down in a certain way and established, that's very special, and you can do that. But you can't just ignore your competition. No. You need to pattern your marketing campaign in ways that they do not, and in ways that give you the advantage. To do that, you have to recognize what they're doing and study it. Maybe talk to some customers, talk to some of their customers to find out what enhanced them to stay with them and what you're going to need to do to take them away from them. Don't be afraid of those conversations. The more you do it, the better business person you're going to be, the more effective entrepreneur you'll be. Know your competition, but the most dangerous threat is not the competition. No. Your most dangerous threat in today's world is real easy to identify, and especially if you're an entrepreneur in Eastern North Carolina or in North Carolina in general. And that is your main threat is the distractions that you have in your own life. The things that are taking up your time and energy and focus every day. Because if you come into this course and wanting to do something new and different and better for your small business, then I have to ask you, how can you expect something different to happen tomorrow or next month to help you get this business up and running if you don't make some changes in what you're doing today? I can tell you, if you make no changes, if you don't change some priorities, nothing's going to happen. But if you do change those priorities, there's an excellent chance that you can start putting all these tips and strategies to work, marketing campaigns and ideas, and start seeing changes come about. Changing priorities is the key, and it's so very difficult. Something that's helped me for a long time is every morning before I get my old lazy head off the pillow, I'm awake, but I'm just not ready to get up. I've trained myself to say, Steve, what are 3 things you need to get done before lunch that are very important for your business? What are 3 things that you put off or procrastinated on that you just have to get it on to make some progress? And I'll list those down, say them to myself several times, then start my day with my coffee, my shower, my shave, whatever. End up out here at the desk. And I work really hard to get those 3 things done before lunch. I fight other distractions. I don't make other calls that are important, or somebody calls me just wanting to chit chat. I ask them to call them back later. But those 3 things I try to get done. And most of the time, I do. Most of the time, I don't get to eat lunch before 2 or 3 o'clock, though. Sometimes I'm better than that. But I don't leave this desk until I do. My wife gets aggravated about going to lunch with me at 3 o'clock, but I got to run this business right. And that has worked for me. Some days I'm able to get 6 things done. Some days I don't get any done. That's life. And it will happen. But usually on those days, the next day I do the same 3 things and I do get them and then try to play catch up. I've had a lot of people that's been attending my courses through the years that say this has really worked and helped for them. Let me invite you to try that plan. Before you get your head off the pillow tomorrow morning, take a few minutes and think about 3 things that you need to do to help your business go further or get started. And then work like the devil to fight distractions until you get them done. Hopefully you can do it before lunch. Okay? Good luck with that. What can you do to make it for the long haul? What are some of the secrets I know after 60-some years in business that have kept us in business for a long time? First of all, remembering that we can't be all things to all people. Just be everything to some people and stay with that and be really good at it. Understand that you need to target your customer groups. And with the internet now, that's quite easy. Keep and maintain an everlasting and always updating customer base, an email mailing list. That's so very important. And when you have that email mailing list, you're able to put these continuous promotions and ideas into play. When you're able to do that, you will see the advantages of having a number of different marketing, profitable marketing centers, so you can keep sending out promotions on different things that you offer. So it keeps people interested in you and what you're doing. And maybe one of the most important things that you never hear anybody mention is after you have a meeting with a customer, whether you sell them something or not, is follow up with them. Let them know you enjoy talking to them. Let them know you appreciate the business. Find out if they're 100% satisfied with the product. Create a relationship where you're sharing information back and forth. That's how your marketing campaign is fueled, by that sharing of information. Create relationships. And one of the best ways to solidify a relationship is with following up with people and staying in touch with them. Now, this isn't the constant promotions. That is staying in touch with them. But I mean a phone call or an email or a visit to talk specifically about following up on the last time you talked with that customer or when the last time you sold them something. Were they pleased? How could you do things better? That's when you start becoming a friend, and that's how you start creating a raving fan customer. One of the ways. Starting a new business, you've got to come up with a name for it. And maybe I want to tell you about DBAs, which are very important. There's a handout on DBAs. At the website I mentioned earlier, the webpage at the Secretary of State's website, they've got a new section for finding out business names and what's available and what's not. We're assigning you certain names for your business and or for your DBAs. So what does a DBA stand for? DBA, doing business as. It might be an alias, also an AKA, also known as. But DBAs can be really important for small businesses in two different ways. I mean, really, really important. Number one, DBA lets you operate your business as under different names. In other words, you got one corporate name, but you've got DBAs under that you can advertise and promote different products for the different things that you're doing. Very important for internet marketing. Number one, because that doesn't increase your overhead cost at all. You still have one set of books. Number two, maybe most important, DBAs allow you to name your products different names and market them as different names to different people the way they're shopping, to different target groups. Let's say, for example, that I will get into the tennis shoe business, the sports shoes business. And I call these shoes tennis shoes because that's what we've always called them, and I don't play tennis in them. Someone else might call this shoe a sports shoe, or a basketball shoe, or a hiking shoe, or a walking shoe, or if it had steel toes, a steel toe boot. A lot of different names for the same product. And when we use the different DBAs, we're able to name our web pages different names. Therefore, when people are shopping for that specific kind of shoe they want, they will end up at your web page before they end up anywhere else and give you first chance at making a sale. That's the oversimplified way to talk about it. But DBAs are important, and if you don't know about them, you're missing the boat. Okay? In week 4, we'll touch on that real strong, because how do we find customers? We help them find us, and using SEO terms on the internet, search engine optimization, these DBAs come into play big time doing that. So I look forward to working with you on that, helping improving your skills there. Do you need a business plan? Yes. Do most companies that have been around for 50 or 60 years have business plans? No. Do a lot of companies that were started up by someone with their bootstraps have business plans? No. But does almost every company that has started during the last 5 or 6 years have a business plan? Oh, yeah. Because shrewd people have learned that is an important part of doing it. And it's one way to keep you from going out of business before you ever get started. The business plan is not going to make you money. The business plan is going to help you stay on a course. The business plan is something that you write, and then you adjust it and rewrite it and keep on doing that. Now, after you've been in business 6, 7, 10, 15 years, your financial statements will become your business plan almost, and you'll start making adjustments and planning based on what those financial statements are in your bookkeeping statements, which we'll talk about in week 6. They can become almost a business plan for you. But right now, knowing what it's all about is important. And is it something you're going to catch that dreaded disease with? That dreaded disease called analysis paralysis? A lot of people have. No. Next week, you'll see how simple it actually can be and how simple you can make it, so to help you get started and learn what the real numbers will be, because to begin with, we're going to be working with estimates. That's just the way it is. Do you need a set of goals, as I talked about earlier? If you're going to get there, yeah, let's have some goals. Let's have some mileposts. Let's have some dates that we're going to achieve things by, and we'll provide you a planner next week to help you mark that course and get along well. Are you going to be that person that wants to be the cheapest person in town? You want to be the Walmart in your community? I'll tell you, that's going to be very difficult to do. I'll say to you right now that I don't want you to give any discounts at all in your business. But the rest of the story is, I don't want you to give any discounts in your business unless you planned to give those discounts. And if you plan them, that's good business, because I want you to make the profit that you need to make, whether you have discounted or not. Very, very important. And in pricing our products, which we'll talk about several times in the rest of the course, that's the way we do that. Getting that main advertised price to include you enough room to negotiate, to talk with your customer and find common ground. Going into this right now, if your position is take it or leave it when you give a price, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have a hard time making some real profits and or hanging on to customers with relationships. Because take it or leave it is saying to that customer, pay me this or go on down the road and do business with someone else. And in today's world, as easy as it is for people to shop, going on down the road is easy to do, and you're going to lose 80% of those customers. But if you give them a reason to stay, and let's talk about negotiate, let's put together a deal that's good for both sides, you've got a chance of creating a good relationship with the customer, doing business with them, and them staying with you. So take it or leave it doesn't work with old Steve-O, and I'll show you the differences in it as we go. So we're wrapping it up now. We're almost at 8 o'clock. Be proud of yourself. Do a legacy you're proud of. And the way you do that is you keep your principles in front of your profits. When it comes to making decisions, the entrepreneurs and associates at the Academy, we teach, keep your principles in front of your profits. Make money, be proud of that. Don't take advantage of people. Don't lie, cheat, steal. Always be willing to help someone when you can. Principles in front of profits. Be a giver and not a taker. Your legacy is being written every day, and your family and your friends and your community will know you as either a giver or a taker. Right now, as a new entrepreneur, is the time for you to start giving that very serious consideration. Find the endurance to stay in the game. Find the endurance to finish strong. There's 5 ways to do that. Pace yourself. Work at your own pace that you're comfortable with, but at a pace that you're making progress. Number 1. Number 2, humble yourself. Don't pretend to be a know-it-all. Know that we've all got a lot to learn. Know that we're not any better as a human being than anyone else that's trying to live the right way. So we don't need to stick our nose up in the air and say to our potential customers, I'm smarter than you are. I don't need your business. Humility goes a long way in creating relationships. Show and know that you can be inspired and find inspiration where you need to find it. Business people get burned out. We've got a lot on our shoulders and a lot of responsibilities, a lot of worries, a lot of stress, and we have to, by golly, find a way to charge our battery from time to time. We have to be able to be still and know there's a God. We have to find inspiration in our music or in our friends or conversations. Find a way to find inspiration every week so you can start out a new day all the time. Know that maybe your inspiration, as I do, find it in Jesus Christ. But it is important that you learn to be still, get rid of the noise, think about what your priorities are, and set those priorities in the right way so that you're going to be headed in the right direction. Number 4, we might need to drop a few pounds. And I'm not talking about these pounds on this big old belly I've got, but we might need to drop a few pounds of stubbornness, might need to drop a few pounds of laziness, maybe a few pounds of procrastination. Maybe we need to drop a few things we're doing that are not doing the right thing. Maybe we need to drop a few pounds of friends that are not good influences. Give all that some thought. What can you do to drop a few pounds in your life to help you get on a straight and narrow road to making better decisions, setting priorities, and helping you get your business started in reality, and all the time being proud of yourself and what you're doing. Lastly, focus on the finish line. Keep focused on what your goal is today. Is your goal to finish this course and win some certificates and earn some some pats on the back. Join the academy. Is your goal to have your business open within 6 months? Is your goal to have a business open and running in a year? Maybe you've already got a business that you're running, and is that goal to add some profit centers so it will be more profitable? Fix on those goals and focus on that finish line. Everybody's finish line will be a little bit different. Next week, talk about budgeting and business planning. I hope you'll be with us. So let your light shine like a lighthouse. Let people know that you've got light to show the way and can bring warmth to people's lives. So I say to you, thank you for being with me all night tonight. It's been a pleasure to have you on board. If you have any comments, we turn the mics on and take it away. And Bart, glad to see you back in at the tail end here.
Yes, it's good to be here. Glad to see you too, David and Tara.
They hung with me the whole time, and I think we've had a good presentation, and I hope we'll see them back next week, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, and I had a few contact me along the way and said they had trouble getting the link. So I made sure they got the link, and they're going to join next week.
That'll be good. All right, David or Terry, you have any comments?
Not at this time. Everything good.
All right, David, we'll stay in touch next week. I'm going to have some highlights on your website. We'll focus on some of the great things that you're doing and look forward to hearing back from you on that too.
Sounds good.
All right. And good night, Tara. You take care. Bart, we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right.